Good thing about the show though is that you go through every episode and there's like probably like a GIF in every episode that you can cut.
Yeah.
Of like just reactions and shit. Like that one of you two in the last that you guys just saw.
That's gonna
probably be a really good GIF.
That's gonna be a good GIF.
Were you guys reacting to some shit I said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck, why?
You're saying I played this game for 15 minutes.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah,
it, right, dude. You played that shit.
Bill's fucking
You played that shit for a whole summer, dog.
a whole summer.
Whole summer,
The
right?
whole series, Billy and Lou are giving you shit for
Cool.
practicing every time.
Yo, the same jokes, dude. Every single episode. Yo, Retel played this before. Retel's been practicing. Or Retel's been
That's
in
the
the
running
lab.
We're jumping in the lab, dog.
Every single
We're trying to
episode,
make it
same
a
jokes.
thing. That's why.
Continuity. I
It's
get
it's still funny, man. It's always funny.
True.
It's funny for you guys.
That's a good t-shirt.
you-
A good t-shirt. Retel's been in the lab.
Yo, I'm gonna make
Someone
that
make it.
shirt.
Someone
Actually.
make it.
I'll make it. I'll make it. I also have to actually get our the bachelor shirts too. It's gonna be cheap. It's gonna be $10 because it's gonna be
$10. I wasn't gonna be
What's
something
it
like
gonna be?
fucking rags.
No, man. It's gonna be like a black 50-50, you know, cotton poly.
Make it something I can like rewear and shit.
Yeah.
I'll probably just.
I'm gonna wear it on the podcast every day.
It's the Billy Club T-shirt. I already told you, man.
Oh, yeah.
As you can wear it at night.
Just
You can wear
copy
it outside,
the
it's
Bullet
not bad.
Club logo and all that
I
shit.
did.
Just
No,
like,
you guys, you didn't see
Yeah,
it.
we
I
saw
didn't
it.
see
Yeah, we
Fuck,
saw it.
man.
Really?
You don't pay attention.
Fuck, I didn't see it. Was it on the page?
Yeah.
Okay.
Way back in the day. I'll show it to you.
Oh.
I'll send it to you back. I'll send it back. Also, get your phone off the
Sorry.
what's it called, man?
Yeah, you too, dog.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
I need to get. I need
I've seen that. I've
access.
seen that shit.
I need access to the
Well, put it in your
Discord.
pocket for now.
Yeah, pocket that shit.
On
You know what?
your lap.
Because I
dog.
remember, like, in the earlier episodes, the freaking feedback.
It was really bad.
Yeah, it's terrible,
Was there
man.
feedback?
Because everyone
Oh.
keeps, messaging.
Terrible.
Terrible, man. It's always on my DM. Like, people keep
Terrible.
sliding my DMs and shit.
Slapping your DMs. Yeah.
I said sliding, man.
They slapping.
People slide in, slap Billy's DMs.
You struggled with that. you tried so hard.
Because I'm so used to saying slide into the DMs. Slap into the DMs doesn't fucking,
Slapping in the DMs.
it doesn't fucking flow, dude.
You're gold, dude.
What is going on, people?
Oh, shit.
Fuck.
That was so
Yeah,
fast.
here, hold on. When you watch this episode back, you'll catch that part. Because you did it just.
No, I didn't.
That's why I was laughing. I wasn't laughing at the thing you said. It's what the
Retel
Okay,
definitely.
let's do it.
What is going on, people? Welcome
Hit us
back
with the intro.
to the Top Tier
Best intro
Podcast.
ever, man.
This is episode 87. My name is Brendan. You can, of course, find me on the YouTubes at youtube.com/RetelFactor. You can find this show, the Top Tier Podcast, at youtube.com/Top Tier Podcast. With me today, Lou Tixon.
It's funny when you looked at me with that. You gave me the dead eyes. With me today.
The dead eye. I'm really tired, man.
The daylight savings, man.
I'm
Fuck this
working
You know,
really hard.
it's funny. It's
hustling
crazy,
on my
like how
YouTube
much
shit.
1 hour can fuck you up, hey?
up. Yeah.
For sure,
It's
and
like,
the
it's
daylight
crazy.
savings.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the 1 hour, man. What the fuck are you talking
Esports money, Beirut. Woo!
Let's go, baby.
And Billy, the Huyn. Very nice. What's going on, guys? How y'all doing? What was that intro?
about? I was watching a few Cactus Jack.
CS:GO, man.
No, I was watching a few Cactus. That too. Yo, fuck rushing B. Doolies.
Doolies.
How you guys doing?
I think we're all tired.
That's okay.
yeah,
That's why we're in overdrive.
Yeah.
We're
yeah.
tired. Might
Yeah.
make the show better.
Anything.
You want to make
us
some
laugh.
cuts, man?
Might
at
make
that
it
point.
much worse.
Yeah, probably.
Someone make a fart noise. We'll crack up.
You don't have to make a noise, dude. You just have to make a fart, dude.
Damn, that was a fierce one, man.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Lou, man, how's your film coming along?
Oh man, we wrapped last night and it was crazy.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like we had, cause like my makeup girl had to drop out last minute, so we ended up like not having a makeup girl on the whole day. I was like, oh fuck, dude. But luckily we had people who just like
Knew how to
had
do
makeup and just like
basic shit.
did basic, yeah, and just
Yeah.
like helped a lot. But then also like my second AC was like, I didn't know we were shooting today, and I was like, what the fuck do you mean you didn't know you were shooting? Like we sent you a call sheet 2 days ago,
Yeah.
this and that, and he's like, oh man, I'm sorry. I'm like, whatever, you're cut, man. Like, well, it's like, what? Like,
Yeah, well, what
am
else
I
can you
supposed
do?
to
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't come.
You
And I
can't
was like, well,
reschedule
fuck.
the whole fucking
Yeah,
thing.
it's like, I'm not gonna reschedule for you.
Yeah.
Like, we're here. Everyone's here except for you and the makeup girl. But anyways, we made it work, and it was awesome. I'm excited for you guys to like see it.
Hey.
I'm excited to get into the editing room because there's so much shit. Like, there's so much B-roll. That's
Are you gonna have a big
funny.
part in like the editing too, and oversee a lot of that shit?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, yeah, because as a director, you gotta.
Well, yeah, that's where a lot. That's where everything kind of comes together, right?
Yeah. But I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited for you guys to see it. It's gonna be some
Yeah, I
good
can't
shit.
wait.
Nice.
Cool,
You still have makeup around right now?
Yeah, but this is from today. This is a different day.
Does the film have a title?
My working title is SDI, which stands for Short Dick Insecurities.
Nice. Okay.
Or Small Dick Insecurities. I don't know what to call it. I'm just going to call this for now.
Okay.
So I'll figure out a title in the editing room.
Nice.
Yeah.
You gotta make it more, PG.
PG, yeah, exactly.
For the title.
Just,
right?
oh yeah, well, I was about to say, given the subject matter of the film, it doesn't need to be PG.
No, it's definitely not PG.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. But it's good. Yeah, it was really good. I'm
Yeah.
excited, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, isn't it so satisfying? Like after I guess a big set or even just any set to just wrap a project and just be like, oh my god. And
Well, it was just because I mean we only shot 2 days, but they were both crazy days.
yeah, they're
Right.
all great. No matter how short
Yeah.
the film is, it's nuts.
Yeah, like day one we shot like 11 pages.
Yeah.
And like a 12-hour day. Like you probably know that's like
That's
a lot.
insane,
And we
yeah.
had like 5 people, so it was like a lot of coverage. And it was just like crazy. And then like last night was should have been a smaller day, but for like we ended up being like 2 hours like over our time. But I mean,
It sounds
we got
pretty
it done.
standard.
But it was like it was great.
How's your craft services, man? How'd you keep your actors happy?
Fuck, man. That was what I spent the most money on. Was
Yeah.
craft
Of course,
services.
yeah.
Like I
It's
had to make
important
sure,
though.
man.
It's
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's
yeah,
like the morale of the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
set is
Yeah.
all fucking
bro.
like.
And like I made some fucking because we did tacos yesterday for lunch. And I like cooked. I stayed up at like 3:30 a.m. cooking this taco
shit.
meat.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Damn.
Because
dude.
I had so much prep to do, and then like I wasn't able to get someone to do crafty for me, so I was like, fuck, well, I'll just do it myself. And so
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I did all this other shit, and I was like, okay, now I can cook the beef. And so I'm like up at like 3 in the morning, fucking cooking taco meat. But it was legit though. There's some good ass shit.
Good ass shit.
I kind of want some tacos.
Happening.
Some old
Yeah.
El Paso or what is that? Homemade shit.
No, it's homemade shit,
Nice,
dog.
nice,
man.
nice.
What are you talking about?
Just want
Old
to
El
make sure.
I'm
Paso.
done.
I
I'm
just
done
wanted
with
to
that
make
shit.
sure.
I think we play in
Rizal's
that, dog.
bringing his whiteness into this podcast, really.
Get some frozen or what?
Yo, I remember seeing this.
That American.
I remember seeing those commercials,
American
those
Mexican.
taco commercials as a kid, dude. I was so jealous as a little poor Afghan kid. I was like, this is what white people eat. Like this shit looks godlike,
See,
man.
what disappointed me is because I remember finally buying one of those things, right?
Yeah.
And then like
They're not
I
as good as
find out,
they.
No, I find out there's no beef in that
No,
shit.
no.
Yeah.
You gotta supply your own beef, and I was like, there's just taco shells and sauce, man.
Oh, you think it comes in the cardboard?
Yeah, well, I was a kid, right? I didn't like you see the commercial and it's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
there in the
Yeah.
commercial.
Yeah.
So you buy the kit and
Yeah.
it's like
It's the kit. It should include
But straight up, you
everything.
need so much more. You need
Crunch
the
it on.
lettuce, you need the
Yeah.
tomatoes,
Yeah.
you need like, you know,
that
Otherwise-
is a harsh lesson to
sour
learn, man.
cream. Like, yeah, like we make tacos a lot in my household, dude.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got Whitney, man. That's a
Tacos.
Hispanic.
Oh, of course.
That's how you keep Hispanic girls happy, man. You gotta make them taco.
make them there.
Yeah, but
Cuisine.
yeah, it's
Give them tacos, you mean?
it's crazy how advertising just like goes such a long way, especially when you're a kid. I remember how much it used to like. It actually used to fucking
For
affect
sure,
me
dude.
so
Oh, you
much.
you spend so much time in front of the TV.
Mhm.
It's like that's so much
Yeah.
of your exposure to like the world at that
Dude,
point.
I was so sad that we didn't have a Taco Bell. Actually, we did, but like, it got
Yeah,
closed
we had
down.
a Taco at the food court, and
Yeah.
that closed down. But
The
then we
original-
had one for a long time at Silver City, and I would always go to Silver City
really?
for
But
Taco
But
Bell.
no,
yeah.
then it would be like the
But then-
prices are super inflated.
Yeah, but
at
you
the
know,
movie
I wanted my
theaters.
Taco Bell. You know? I wanted my fries supreme,
Yeah.
dog.
$10 premium
I
per
wanted that
taco.
fries supreme, man. And you got scene points for that shit too.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that. I didn't go to the movies that much, obviously.
But you know, it was gone after too. So now they only have one where like in like fucking
Coquitlam.
Coquitlam, right? Yeah.
That's the one I go to when I visit Roman. Like Roman, let's go get some dinner.
Your climbing
Bell.
partner.
Yeah,
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
Shit, Billy, you
So
must let
fucking-
out some nasty farts up on that
That
hill.
cheesy,
Yeah, man,
that
that's
cheesy
fucking
gordita
right.
You know,
crunch,
Taco
man.
Bell had the best fucking
Supreme,
like
baby.
ads back then. Drop the chalupa. Remember that
Oh
shit?
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
I forgot
yeah.
about
The
that.
chalupa. Bear man, what's new with you, dog?
Same old, just working, doing YouTube, having a good time.
Yeah, yeah. How's
Um,
the Monday night fights treating you?
It's good, man. You guys are totally the star of that show. Every time I edit it, I'm like, man, this is like for me. I know it doesn't get like crazy amount of views and crazy amount of reach, but it's just such a funny show to me. Like I think if I was watching that outside of the thing, and like I have people who message me too, is like,
Yeah.
holy shit, like I came to this channel for other shit, but Monday Night Fights has been really fun. But
Nice, man.
you guys are all the stars, man. Of that show. I laugh so much. I'm just there experiencing. Yeah, every time I'm editing, I think Lou walked. You were there when I was doing the Street Fighter edit.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
I think Lou was just hearing me laugh half the time or something, just while I had my headphones
Well, like I was
on.
coming down like your stairs to your door, and I could hear you laughing through the door.
Yes, yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
what it was. Yeah. And then I opened the door. He's like, "What the fuck are you laughing at?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm editing Monday Night Fights."
The beauty of Monday Night Fights too is like nothing is forced. It's just authentic, just like us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like how we fucking play video games just off camera.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? We're
exactly.
still making the same stupid jokes and all that, all the stupid
Yeah, and you
shit.
come-
How's that a joke, man?
You combine that
Truth.
stupidity with like
Truth.
you combine the stupidity with the stupid camera zoom ins
Oh,
and
yeah.
like the cuts. It's just
And
it
the
just
stupid games.
yeah, and the dumbass
games
games.
are
Yeah,
funny.
it
I
makes,
don't know, man.
so that series definitely has a special place in my heart. It definitely is really time consuming, more time consuming than I want it to be, but it's super fun.
I mean,
It's
I want
fun.
to play more of that one game, the Wu Tang versus what was it,
Do you know
Talon
what-
or whatever
oh,
it was.
oh,
We're gonna do that stream. We're gonna do that stream that we actually that
we might have to
episode-
redact that because we haven't. By the time this episode goes live, that episode hasn't gone up yet.
Well, they'll see. They'll
No,
see what
that's
I'm
okay.
talking about.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'm just saying
Okay,
that
okay.
particular
if people
game we
if
played
people
that
know
one
about
time.
the game, that's all good.
And by the way, so after we did that Monday Night Fights, you know how we had a lot of difficulty with the controls? I went in and I played on keyboard. Way easier. Way easier on keyboard.
It's a
Oh
keyboard
my
game.
God, why?
Yeah.
What do you? Okay, let me, because that just reminded me. Like, I've been seeing like this keyboard like pad.
A
arcade thing.
hitbox.
What do you think of that shit?
Hitbox, it's probably one of the best ways to play. It's the
Really?
cheapest way to play
Really?
because
For sure.
think about your inputs are buttons, so you get them instantly. So you get the advantages of an arcade stick and also the advantages of a pad all put into one.
Just think
thing.
of just like doing
So-
a DP motion is just two buttons.
Exactly.
What about you want to go that full 360 Zangief grab, dog?
There's a way to
You
do it. I
gotta
think.
that with
Yeah.
the fucking-
Just roll your face on that shit.
I think one of the inputs, I don't know exactly how hitboxes work because I haven't played on them too much, but I think one of them counts as like two inputs. So to do a fireball, it's like literally two.
Yeah, two. And
two
then
things.
DP's three, rather. so-
Three, yeah. So it's like, and there's ways like you can block instantly. I remember there was even things with hitboxes because you're able to do like back forward so fast. I'm like, you can't do that on a stick. You can't even
Yeah.
do that on a pad. You can do back forward so quickly by just doing left right that you can. There's ways you can just like block unblockables and stuff like that in Marvel. Like I remember people in Marvel 3 were figuring out some stuff with hitboxes.
Damn.
It's perfectly legal. It's perfectly allowed.
Sure.
Have you
In
tried
tournaments.
that shit?
I haven't. I was really, back when I was playing Street Fighter 5, I went to pad. And because I was just realizing that, just with an arcade stick, it takes me so much time to move. That those extra like 2 frames it takes me
Sure.
to move from down to forward, such a big disadvantage. So I went to pad and I was like, this shit is so cheap. Pad is amazing, and I play on claw a lot on pad. So I was thinking that, man, maybe I should try hitbox. Maybe I should try investing in it.
Why not?
But
Because it's like the best of
I'd
both
like
worlds.
to see that.
it is, yeah. It's definitely is the best of both worlds. So it's something I still want to try. But the most enjoyable thing about an arcade stick, because I think is just, I guess it's the legacy of the arcade stick. Is the
Yeah.
fact that I can go to Japan and I can go to an arcade and just kind of transfer
Be
those
comfortable
skills
and you're
into
still. Yeah.
So a hitbox is just one of those very specific things, right? It was kind of
Like
created.
tournament play or something.
Yeah, it was created by the community rather than like game developers or console developers. So it's definitely it's really good though. It's probably the best way to play.
Are they tournament legal?
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Kawaii, man.
Yeah, very, very cool. That's actually that game, that Wu-Tang versus the World, would probably be amazing on a hitbox.
For sure,
Yeah,
dude.
I was
Especially if
waiting
it's
for it.
better on keyboard.
Dude, it was so
Clean.
choppy, man.
It's okay.
I can't.
It's
Do
okay.
a forward
If we
jump.
ever, we might go back to it again, maybe at some point on
see.
like a stream or some shit.
Yeah, we're going to do a long, well, not like super long, I don't want to tire you guys out, but we'll do like a 4-hour stream where we'll like revisit some of the
4 hours?
favorites.
Easy peasy, though.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
could do that shit.
24 hours.
Yeah, no, we won't do
Playing-
20.
playing
that
stupid
shit.
Retel's done so many
I've done
24-hour streams at this
Too
point.
many. Do you know what, man? I was really thinking too. I'm just like, am I gonna do that again next year? I'm just
You
thinking
should.
about it. I'm
I
just
think
like,
you should. And there's something about it now. I feel like we've gotten to the point, whether or not it's for the chids. It's kind of like a tradition to have those, right? It's almost like I almost think of it as like a gathering for all of us too.
Yeah.
Though if I do another one this year in November, it's gonna be smaller in scale.
Yeah.
Where it's literally just gonna be like us, maybe like, and then Ben and Whitney, and just
Yeah.
like
Still
really the
top
core
tier, yeah.
group, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Just really just keep it nice and intimate. You know what I'm saying?
Of course,
Yes.
of course. We'll do a
I think
whole
it
schedule.
It works out better that way.
Did you talk about our live stream plans for the gun?
No,
control-
we mentioned it briefly.
Yeah,
when we were
because I know you were talking about it
Vampire
last
Night.
episode. Yeah.
It was a couple episodes ago, but yeah, we are gonna do a stream for light gun game
That
night.
sounds amazing.
It's gonna be so dope. Like, I got my CRT set up here in the corner. You
Oh,
guys can't
man.
see it on cam.
Take a picture of it.
But
So
it's,
we're gonna play on that.
well, for the light gun games, we have to because they only work on
CRT, yeah.
CRTs.
They work on that. Yeah, that's super
I mean,
cool.
no one has. I don't have a CRT.
And we're gonna have such shit's gonna like it'll work on the CRT and it'll look amazing because I'm gonna run it through my FrameMeister. Got my proper cables now. Finally, Behr. It's gonna be so.
Oh, did
fucking
you got?
dope.
I got everything in.
Yeah.
Damn, the FrameMeister, guys. That's
Bro, you got built-in VHS and DVD in there.
Dude,
That
I
bit.
was so stoked about that shit. The only thing that TV unfortunately is missing, it doesn't have S video or component. It only has composite.
Oh, dang.
Damn.
But like, it's got a VHS
Yeah,
and a
man.
DVD.
Yeah. To be honest,
no
you
Goofy
could just
movie.
go on like Craigslist, just go on the free section.
No, yeah.
If you know the right models to look out for, people are giving away CRTs for
Oh, I
like
know.
free or for like $20.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you can find some of
This one
the.
I gone, dude.
I think you want to look for like the 2005, 2006, the very
Yeah, the
late CRT.
early 2000, mid 2000 CRTs because
Yeah.
those ones are much better quality.
Yeah, you got the fucking component cables
Mm-hmm.
in that bitch. It sucks that only the European TVs had SCART on them. That's
Yeah.
where SCART like cables came from. But sadly, North
But
America.
I mean, I got the FrameMeister now, so it doesn't even fucking matter.
That's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got that $500 device, Retel. God
It
damn.
was a little steep.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's
It's
okay.
worth it. It's worth it. I think it's worth
If
it.
you're a fucking nerd like me,
Yeah.
it was so exciting for me once it finally arrived.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I have to wait for all these fucking cables and shit. So
Yeah.
it's been a bit of a process.
You ordered this bad boy.
No, that's CRT, the FrameMeister.
That
Oh.
thing right there.
Yeah. No, the CRT, I got that for free, and I've had that for a couple of years now.
Nice.
And it wouldn't be possible. Light gun game night wouldn't be possible. So what are we gonna play for light gun game night? So I got my PS2 light guns. I got one more on the way.
I have one already. He didn't ask me.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
I mean, it's not on the CRT, but I ordered House of the Dead Overkill.
So we'll play that on the PS3 because I got the
Yeah.
Move controllers.
Yeah.
So we'll do House of the Dead Overkill. We got
Vampire
like all
Night.
3 Time Crises if we
Oh,
want to play
yes!
those.
That's legit. That's
Vampire
legit.
Night.
How are you gonna do time? Like they have the pedal and shit. To like,
No,
So
there's a
so
button
the
on
gun
light
con
gun.
has a
Oh,
little
okay.
D-pad on it,
Oh,
right?
gotcha.
And you just press the D-pad and you pop out a cover and shit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then we can do
Lou
some.
wanted the whole paddle and shit. Dog, I'll hook up the rock band drum set little pedal on it. Make that shit work for
Then
you.
we could
real
go
quick.
back on PS1, do some Area 51 or some shit.
Ooh, that game is rough,
Yeah.
man.
You know what?
The PS1 version, I don't know, might be
Yeah, it's
pretty mad
rough.
suspect.
Oh my god.
Why aren't those games asked for anymore, man? Like, I'm sure if there was a demand, like people would find a way to have light gun games with.
It's
more modern
VR has
techno-
taken over, dude. It's now
That's
the VR
true.
thing.
That's true.
VR's kind of replaced it.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
It's a very niche type thing.
Yeah. What
Because
was
wave
the?
shooters are super popular in VR, and it's basically the same fucking thing.
Yeah. Because Farpoint was the game that had the big gun accessory.
Yeah,
Yeah, this that you have it right there. Oh my goodness!
That's ugly.
I cannot.
That's not a gun.
It does look. It does
It's
look
just
really
fucking,
funny.
like paper towel tubes. You just
No, you know what it looks like? It looks like PVC pipes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like how I made them.
stick
But
or
apparently, it's really hard to get though. Right?
they were very hard to get
Yeah.
for the longest time, and they're just now becoming more commonly available in Canada. It's probably different in the states. Shit out of here.
The quality looks really good though.
But
honestly. Like, it has
it's
the-
also
trigger doesn't feel good.
it fixes one of the biggest flaws about the. You probably
Oh,
turned
shit.
on my PS4.
Oh shit! Okay, I'm sorry.
It fixes one of the biggest flaws of the of playing with like the regular Move controllers,
I'll go to
and that
sleep.
it has dual joysticks.
Oh,
Yeah.
yo.
And that the Move controllers don't even have joysticks at all, not even one.
Yeah.
So it fixes the biggest problem. So it makes like proper movement and then real world time shooting like possible.
Possible,
So,
yeah. That's really cool. That's very unique. Actually, I don't think that's it's never been done before.
No, for sure. But
Your PS4's turned off.
I know my PS4 is down.
It's
I didn't
okay.
do
It
but fuck
auto sleeps in 15 minutes. Retel will
Unless
be
you,
okay.
like, turn
No, I turned
Yeah.
that shit off.
Oh, yeah.
No power saver. Come on, no.
God damn, Retel.
Anyways, light gun game night. We're still waiting on some shit to arrive, but
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I cannot
It's
wait.
gonna be hype.
I absolutely cannot wait.
And before we get into our top tier community Discord questions, did you guys see the Nintendo Direct? There's only one thing I wanted to talk about.
Oh
There's
yeah,
a
I saw it. I saw
yeah.
it.
New fucking Smash Brothers coming out.
Yes,
Yeah, I
that's
saw
right.
that.
Isn't that
What is
insane?
Splatoon shit? I mean, it's popular for the kids,
Yeah.
kids and shit.
Well, it's
But
not-
that, you know,
dude,
that
it's
was a,
huge in
that was a
Japan.
good way to start the trailer, though. I
Because it was a
felt
bait
like-
and switch.
Yeah, it was a
almost,
bait.
right?
It was
Yeah.
definitely a good bait. I was kind of happy. I mean, I didn't see it live. I watched it back over later, but really, really cool. Nintendo is releasing some good shit. They're getting good third-party titles on there. Even
yeah.
having the Crash Bandicoot games.
The Crash Bandicoot, yeah.
That's Crash Bandicoot. And then the Dark Souls obviously was announced earlier on before this. It's looking really good. The Switch is looking pretty damn
So,
solid.
like in the direct, the things I was most like stoked for was obviously Smash is exciting, but with the direction Smash is going, like I've kind of played each one less and less.
Yeah.
But I was stoked for like Undertale and like South Park and shit. I'm just like all this other third-party stuff coming.
Yeah.
So
South Park on
South
Was it
Park was
Nintendo?
gonna be so dope.
I was
dude.
giving Retel shit
I
for
mean,
getting
we
hyped.
Fractured
had what, that
butthole,
South Park
dude.
64
Yeah,
back
we
in
could
the day.
we could play that shit if you
I'm
want.
such a
Can we actually play that? Because that
Yes.
shit was fun as hell.
yeah, it's a good game.
Dude, I got the N64 with the EverDrive.
I was looking
Every
at that.
N64 game.
Every
we can
single
play.
one.
Oh man, that's illegal.
I remember renting that game from Blockbuster, dude.
Oh man, game renting.
Game renting.
We talked about Blockbuster a few episodes
South
ago.
Park, the South
I
Park
remember,
N64 game.
I remember very specifically renting South Park 64 because like you go and you get the rental copy or whatever, and sometimes it'll come with the instruction booklet. I just remember getting the instruction booklet. I opened it up and it fucking and it was just like solid with like spaghetti stains.
Oh yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Dude, you find some weird shit. You'll find some weird shit. Like even when you go to a used game store and you open up
Yeah.
like a strategy guide. Like I collect strategy guides for Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Right, because it's just the series I
Yeah,
collect.
yeah.
Someone
for.
spilled something, certain pages.
Yeah,
are
the shit
sticking
spilled. There's
together.
like weird writing, people
Yeah.
drawing dicks and stuff in certain pages. It's just kind of, but it's in a way, it's kind of its charm because
Yeah.
it was like it kind of has that history.
For sure.
So it's really cool.
Like I got a copy on Genesis here.
Oh god, does it have someone's name on it?
Alien 3. And dude, this was a Blockbuster video copy.
Oh.
And I couldn't bring myself to take this sticker off.
Yeah,
Don't,
I was like,
man. Leave
I
that
was like,
shit
dude,
on.
1997.
Holy
this shit is
shit.
so dope.
That's amazing.
And it's actually in the Genesis right now, but
Nice. That's hype as well. Man, I love the Genesis. Like that whole era was amazing. Like obviously Super Nintendo
Yeah.
was a better system
For sure.
Yeah.
overall,
For
but
sure.
the Genesis had its amazing. Like we were talking about Contra Hardcore and like what else was? I mean, the Mortal Kombat games were the best on that machine.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Obviously, all the Sonic games. There's some really cool titles that didn't make their way to Super
yeah.
Nintendo.
And then like the card itself has a big ass Blockbuster sticker on the back. I was like, this
Oh,
is fucking dope.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
keeping
cool,
that
that
shit
shit.
on.
That's awesome.
It's a relic, man.
Cool.
It is a relic.
History.
History.
Let's see this question.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 3 on Genesis was ass though.
Oh, it
Yeah,
was.
for that,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
was
We
like,
definitely
yo.
has because you
Yeah.
got the three buttons. You have to like
Yeah.
press like back and a button
Yeah.
to do a certain button. But the Genesis did have a 6-button controller.
They did. They eventually
Yeah,
made
they
one.
released
yeah.
that, which was actually pretty solid. But yeah, you're right. Though. Every time I played Mortal Kombat 3, it was either on my Super Nintendo or a main
Yeah,
port.
well then UMK3
Yeah, yeah.
came out on Super Nintendo, and I was like, oh
Man,
shit,
there was
this
like
is that
a-
shit.
There's a Saturn version of MK3, wasn't there?
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah, that was
yeah.
probably the best home version you could get.
I remember
I
that
believe so,
actually.
yeah.
When I first got my Sega Saturn, like I don't know, my oldest brother got it from someone at school. He got an amazing deal. He paid like $100 for a Japanese Sega Saturn that was modded with like 100 games. Like 90% of them were modded games.
Sure, yeah,
of course.
But like the 10% of games that weren't modded were, they were not very good. But there was one copy of Mortal Kombat 3. I think it was UMK3, but it was cracked. It had like a
Oh.
crack on it, and Boris and I, because it was a real copy, Boris and I would always look at it and be like, "Man, I wish we could play this." And I remember as kids, we must have like tried taping it or something. We were so desperate, like, "Will this work?"
That's so sad.
Yeah,
So
it was
sad,
real
man.
sad life. But obviously later on, over some time, we got like a burner and all that shit. And we just burned our own copies.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that was one thing that I'll always remember with Mortal Kombat on the Saturn was having that cracked disc that I still own today.
What never was.
I'm tempted, now that I have the Framemeister especially, I'm tempted to get a Saturn
You should.
because it has such a dope-ass library, but the
It's-
games are crazy expensive. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah, they're crazy expensive. Like when you're looking for the really sought after ones, like the Panzer Dragoons,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like some of the, I think was it Battle, but one of the top down shooters I know. We have like the case for it. We don't have a real copy of
Oh,
it,
damn.
but we just have the case for it. That thing's worth like a couple $100.
Sometimes the cases alone will sell
Yes,
for a lot of money,
exactly.
too.
So but if you are just looking, you're okay with playing imports. Like the imports are not that expensive.
Oh, really?
They're definitely gotten a little bit more popular in the last 2-3 years because of some YouTubers like Pete Dorr and a few others who have been talking about the Saturn. They've started collecting the Japanese Sega Saturn. So there's so many good games, man. There's like yeah, you'll love it. So many good fighters, so many good Japanese games that were only released in Japan, but they're like 90% English, so you
Right,
can
yeah,
like
yeah.
totally
So there's
navigate the
totally
menus.
playable and
Yeah,
stuff.
I remember there's a game called Willy Wombat, and it's so good, and it's literally there's English voice acting throughout the whole thing, and I have no idea why they never released it
Just
in the U.S. But yeah, I think you should totally go for it because I don't think they're that expensive too.
just for the console, yeah, probably
Yeah,
not.
I look around actually on Craigslist. I think after
Yeah.
you and I had that conversation about you wanting a Saturn, I think I looked it up. There's a few on there with like a pretty good starter package.
Decent
so
deals, okay.
yeah.
All right.
as
I'll
long
look
as you
into
don't
it.
get Craigslist held up like you did last time, you'll be
happened?
you'll be all good.
Oh, Billy wasn't here for the Craigslist
Oh, he
horror
wasn't.
stories. Have you ever been scammed in real life?
Tell me later.
Yeah.
Billy, also I wanted to talk to you. You finished Persona 5.
Finally.
Ooh.
He platinumed it. Ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh.
Billy's on like is great. So he just finished. He finished FF15 and Persona 5. Platinumed both.
Oh, is that your first 2 platinums? What was your first platinum? I think we talked about this. It was like some like Assassin's Creed or something.
It's probably Dynasty Warriors. Dude.
Dynasty Warriors 7.
Oh.
Of course it was, dude.
That was a fucking grind just to get that, man. I'll tell you that right now.
That's some Chinese shit. That's some Chinese shit.
Oh my god, that's
It was
fucking
good. It
fun.
was good. I really enjoyed
Really,
it.
do you know how many like
hours I spent?
NPCs you've probably slayed in that
Oh,
game because you're running
millions,
around? Like,
trillions.
one swipe kills like 6 people.
Yeah.
In that game.
Actually, there is a KO count. I should go back to it.
Is there a
Oh,
kill?
for real?
Oh
I think
shit.
so. I think so. I don't remember, but I'm
In the
pretty sure there
millions.
is.
Millions.
Hundreds
In
of
the millions,
thousands,
yeah.
at least.
And the millions.
Yeah, and millions.
But yeah, it was Persona 5 was great, man. I'm just so sad that it's over. But I'm kind of burnt out on Persona. I wanted to try Persona 4, but
After those
I'm
100
like-
Yeah,
something
just
hours.
take a little break, but I think like in a few months you should go and play Persona 4.
I
There's a chance you might even like it more.
that's what I heard too. Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
there's a chance.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
And then you got the new Dynasty Warriors, right, Billy?
Oh my
Dynasty
God, that
Warriors
was
9.
rough.
How shitty is that game? Dude?
It's not good. It's just not good. Like before, it's like okay, there's a charm to Dynasty Warriors for me. Like it's just you can turn off your brain, you just press square.
Sure.
This is a quick story mode or whatever,
Yeah.
and you can actually it's actually challenging when you put it into hard mode and stuff.
Mhm.
This one, I just like the first hour I'm into it. I'm like, ugh. It's like open world. Yeah, it's like open
Open world
Oh,
Dynasty
like,
see,
Warriors.
that's what I'm talking. See, this is what I was talking about like 5 to 10 episodes
Yeah.
ago, where I was bitching about open world games.
And we had that
This is
long
what,
conversation
Dynasty
about it.
Warriors does not need to be open world.
No, it does not.
That's the last series,
It's an
And-
arena, man.
and-
You're stuck there. You fucking kill things.
and that's what's happening to the fucking game market.
And do you know what sucks? It's not multiplayer.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I can't split screen with my brother.
damn, that
I
sucks.
can't like hook up
You
on
Yeah.
my
do that these days.
Yeah.
I know it makes me so sad.
So when a game has 4 player split screen, I'm like shocked.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
like, holy
Yeah.
shit.
So I couldn't do that. Like the frames are just ass. I think there's like 15 frames per second when there's a lot of things on the
Really?
phone. Like, are,
There's serious
it
slowdown.
lags like crazy. Like Dynasty Warriors 7 and 8, and even like the other games, like the freaking One Piece Warriors or whatever.
Yeah, there was a One Piece.
Yeah, there's
one
Well,
all
they
the-
did one too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're so smooth. Like in
Yeah.
PS3, like it's like 30
Yeah,
frames
too
per
bad you're not a
second.
Zelda or like a Fire Emblem fan because I hear those are pretty.
Yeah, those
like
ones
they're
are-
solid. I
I think
don't.
the Fire Emblem one's probably like one of
You
the
know what?
better
You
ones.
just go there.
Better, yeah.
It's like a guilty pleasure. You go in there, you kill shit. It doesn't lag. It's
Yeah.
great.
Did you ever play 99 on the Xbox 360?
I have
Was it called
not.
99? Yeah, I think it was.
It was.
It was or like 9 or something like that. I remember some shit
No,
with
no,
nines, but
sorry.
it was okay. That was another earlier Xbox 360 kind of Dynasty War-esque game. I'm sure someone here in the viewers would,
Probably. Yeah.
listeners would know what I'm talking about.
But I'm like, oh man.
Yeah,
So
that's what I thought.
my
It was
first
it
one.
was 99 Nights.
99 Nights.
That was the
it,
one, yeah.
Was that good shit?
It's okay. I think it was all right.
61 on Metacritic.
Yeah, I think it was okay. I mean, I can't even take any of those games seriously.
Yeah,
I'm,
that's
sorry.
the thing, yeah.
I'm sorry, Billy, but
That's fine.
Metacritic
They're,
is acid.
yeah.
but I know I can understand how they're like a guilty pleasure for sure.
I turn off my brain, and I fucking kill things.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn, Billy's fucked up.
That's Billy's life right
Why aren't you
there.
on that 2K grind, dog?
Yeah. dog.
NBA?
I got too late into it.
Go
And
into the
I heard
online
never too
leaderboards,
late,
dog. I
man.
Dude,
want
I
to see
heard,
that
I
shit.
heard the new 2K is rough as hell. Like,
Is
it's
it
just,
rough?
Yeah, it's just straight grinding for like
Well,
VC
didn't they?
and shit.
Didn't
You
they
get that
like?
story mode, man. You get your own world. You get to
Yeah,
make
but
your own
Michael-
avatar and
Michael
shit.
B. Jordan's not there this time, right? Last year was.
Okay, man, you can come over. You can play my copy of 2K17.
No, I don't want to mop the floor with you, man.
Yeah, no,
Oh
you would.
damn!
You would. You would.
Mop the floor with you, dog. Didn't they fuck that game up with like loot boxes or some shit?
No, it's just VC points. You have to grind the points to actually get your guy better. It takes forever
It
to
takes
do
so
that.
long. Yeah, they
Yeah.
made the grind like insane. I remember even like looking at the trophy list for that game. It was fucking nuts. Like I don't
Yeah.
think anyone's gotten it or something.
No, it's insane,
Yeah.
man. But no, it was. I actually really did enjoy 2K. Like, I love all 2K games. I love the soccer games more. Actually, I'm a big FIFA and PES fan.
Yeah, what do you like
Pro
more?
Evolution.
PES.
PS
Because
more,
I grew up with it, and I love the Master League on that one. So actually build your team from the bottom up. It's always the same characters, but you start off with this complete shit team, and you have to get better and better. At one point, I was stuck in Vietnam for 2 months.
Oh shit!
Back in 2004. That's all I did was play PES
Damn.
on PS2. I got so fucking good. Like, I was like because there's no online back then. It's Vietnam.
Damn, the shots.
I was playing
Keep it real,
on
keep it
master
real.
master mode, and like I was like playing on the hardest difficulty
Yeah,
because I'm like everything is so easy, and like I was actually doing well.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I never reset the game if I lost because I was actually winning by maybe like 1 or 2 points, but it was I was gotten pretty good at that game.
That's legit.
I was getting like when I got a free kick, I was automatic. Just get it in
Shit,
Yeah.
Billy.
outside the box and get a goal. I'm like, fuck.
Pro Evolution Soccer, boys.
Yeah.
I know.
I gotta get that game. Again.
I played that game in
That's
Germany.
Konami, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
think it
actually a
is.
great
Fuck
game.
Konami, man.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because they a lot of different companies have tried their like kind of toes, dip their toes into
Dip their dicks.
dip their dicks into sports games. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's funny how like there's just been a few that have survived.
You shake your head at me, dog.
Dipping their tips, man.
I think we talked about it before. They just need to bring back the street games and the more
Hell
arcade.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, actually, in the
Bring
Nintendo
back
Direct,
EA Big.
the
Yeah, dude.
yeah,
Hey,
that's
Big
true,
was
yeah, that's
great,
true.
man.
But the Mario Tennis looked kind of fun actually.
It does,
Yeah.
yeah, the new one.
The
Yeah,
new
looks
one. I was
cool,
looking
yeah.
at some of the.
I'd play that shit.
Yeah, look like some of the super moves look cheap as fuck, but there's
yeah.
ways to like counter them and stuff. I was watching that whole breakdown they were talking
There was
about.
a stream. There was a 24-hour stream where we played the GameCube Mario Tennis, and that shit was dope as hell. Do you guys
Yeah,
remember?
it was
We're playing
good.
doubles.
I remember that.
Dude, that
2v2.
was so lit,
It was
man.
so fun, man. Billy was getting so hyped.
Yeah.
And it was like, I think that we were in like the tail end too. It was
Yeah.
like 4 a.m. We're still getting hyped over Mario Tennis.
That was like 2-3 years ago.
I think that was the 2015, maybe 2016 one. I can't remember.
Man, I'm not sure where my Wii controllers are, but remember Mario freaking Soccer? That game was.
Oh,
fun.
Mario Strikers, dude.
Yeah.
Hell
The
yeah.
first one was
Yeah.
fantastic.
For the
That was
GameCube
great.
one,
For the
right?
GameCube.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
GameCube
yeah.
one was amazing.
Oh, that's right. They made a Wii one.
did make a Wii
yeah,
one.
I
It was
remember
still
that.
pretty good. Like, it's fun.
I think they put motion controls in it and shit though.
Yeah.
Didn't they?
Yeah.
Or
You have
like
to
some
shake it to,
waggle.
like, hit it?
Yeah. They
Yeah.
put some waggle in it. So the GameCube one's the one you want.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
We can play that someday.
I'm down for that.
We gotta get Whitney and Ben back on the show back. Well, Ben's actually in Mexico.
Yeah.
He was at CMLL, man. I was like, shit.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, the luchadors, man.
He got fucking deported.
Damn, Retel. Retel just couldn't. Retel couldn't hold himself.
He had to go there.
Had
Had
go
to
there.
say it.
Whatever.
God.
Guatemala. Come on, man.
Damn. But yeah, I want to hear about Ben's trip. Do you guys know when he's back?
Nope.
Nah.
Oh, all right.
I might actually, but
But I'm not gonna
well, because
say.
he told me he's going, but I don't remember if he told me how long he's gone for or not.
Oh.
So I might have a message somewhere that says that.
All right.
So of course, have you guys joined the top tier community Discord? By the way,
I
Oh
have.
shit.
Retel, you're gonna get the Vegeta fucking costume, right? I'll make that shirt for you.
What there's
Get
a
a costume.
what's going on?
anyways,
I'll make it to you
I
guys.
was talking about that Retitus costume.
the
dog.
No, this
yo
is
Bear's
Vegeta
been
one,
streaming.
too.
He's got a fucking Retitus emote, dude.
Yeah, dog.
It's
That
some
shit was
bullshit.
the greatest thing I've
I
ever
love
done.
it.
It's the greatest thing I've ever done in my life. I was
This motherfucker
super proud.
has only one emote that he can use.
Yeah,
for this
until
channel.
I get more sponsors. And I was like, man, I just gotta go.
Retitus.
It's
To be honest, I'm a little flattered.
I'm happy, dude. It's a beautiful emote. Every time someone uses it, it's like, oh god, this is great.
Yeah, send me the
I'm so
files so
honored
we
when you
can.
put the costume back on.
So we could. Because it's only good once. It's only funny once. If you do it again, it's not as good.
No, that's not true.
No, that's not
tarnishes
true.
the
Not with
image.
Retitus.
That's
With
not true,
Retitus.
man.
Jesus Christ.
Everyone wants to see it again.
Send me the files for that emote though, so we can use it in our Discord channel.
Sure, sure.
Okay. And anyways, what I was getting at is you can submit questions for the top tier podcast over the top tier podcast community Discord, which is in the description of the video and the audio. And if you still want, you can also send them in at toptierpodcast@gmail.com. We got a lot of questions.
Woo!
Oh, we got a lot of
That's
questions.
some good posts, man. I'm actually on this at work.
There's a Discord app on.
On the phone, it's actually really good. The phone app.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right now.
it's great. It's great.
You
Let me
put
do it
put
right
your
now.
phone away, dog. This is a question from your boy Jerry.
Let's go, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry, what's up?
And this is a great question. What would your wrestling gimmick be if you were a wrestler?
Oh shit! It actually goes pretty well with our Rumble Roses episode.
I know. It's all calculated.
it's all halal.
It's all calculated, dude.
I don't know. Billy's would be like the booty clap or some shit. Like
like
it'd
the
be
the
almost like
newcoming
Rikishi.
Rikishi.
Yeah, something along that. Or slap.
Nah,
his
man,
ass.
I wouldn't want to be a comedy actor. You get nowhere with that. I want the belt. I want
wants the
the
belt.
heavyweight belt. Either that or like I want to be like a top guy.
Would you be a heel, Billy?
Hell yeah, I would be a heel.
Yeah.
Chinese, man, minorities do so well as heels in fucking WWE. Maybe because Mystic Man doesn't like Asian people. Although Nakamura and Asuka won, which is like, what the
Royal
fuck?
Rumble, yeah.
Mystic
Asuka's
Man.
pretty cool. Yeah, I was kind of looking at some of her fights. It's like,
Oh, I gotta show you.
I
I gotta show you Minoru Suzuki versus
Well,
Asuka.
if you
man.
watched
yeah.
one of the episodes of the Top Tier podcast, I inserted a clip of that fight.
Oh, did you?
I
Oh,
did.
Fuck.
So go back and watch it.
Yeah,
God damn it.
you should watch that.
I don't remember what episode.
It was. I'll show you what happened to Asuka and Minoru Suzuki, and you'll be like,
Just
fuck.
Google it.
later. We'll do it
So,
later.
okay. What would Behr's gimmick be?
He'll be the mouth man, the mouthpiece, pretty much. He'll be the manager.
He'd be the manager.
Dude, bad managers are. You need a good manager
Yeah.
to actually
Yeah.
take care of you. I wouldn't be able to speak. He'll be my manager, like
What-
Paul Heyman to Brock Lesnar or Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, I'd be a manager to Billy,
Yeah, pretty much. But then, like,
covering him in baby oil.
yeah, no, you do like the heel shit, right? I am getting pinned. Bear pulls the guy's leg. It's like, what am I doing? I didn't do anything. Man. What are you talking about, dude?
This skinny, lanky guy.
Exactly that.
Pulling.
We'll
Me
get
pulling.
so much heat. He's Afghan too. Shit, man.
Oh,
America
fuck.
would not like that.
China and Afghanistan.
Oh
Damn,
my
dog.
God.
That'd be a pretty fucked up combination.
Yeah, right. It's
Yeah.
it's insane.
That'd be a good look.
Yeah, it'll be a like yeah.
The invasion, dude.
What would Retel be, man? What would be Retel?
His
be?
gimmick, his gimmick.
What would my gimmick be?
Gimmicks are hard, man. That's the thing. Like it has to be like
Oh. Retel would be like the
organic. It
Yeah.
can't be like forced or it just looks stupid.
yeah. I feel like Retel would just be the Nam scammer though. He'd probably like cheat in every fight somehow, or
Yeah.
like have something
I
come
am-
in, or like I don't know, pull
He's
some
a
shit.
hornswoggle, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you guys watch New Japan, Toru Yano. That's him. He's the guy who tries to sell people DVDs and like his finishing move is a low blow.
Where the fuck you guys take me for, dude?
Like, does that work? It works, right? And he's like, what?
Sells DVDs.
That's godlike,
He's
dude.
like,
Fucking burnt DVD.
Toru Yano, he's a comedy actor, but then
Right.
he's
Yeah, Retel would probably be around the comedy realms for sure.
I feel
He'd be
that too,
somewhere-
man.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel that too.
Thanks, I
Yeah.
guess. What would
No.
Lou's be, man?
Read it for me, man.
Lou would be like he'd be like Kane.
Damn, what?
He'd come out with a mask.
Which one? Which one?
Walk out.
when
like Attitude Era Kane, dude.
oh, like the one when he supposedly murdered his fiance.
Yeah.
And
Jesus.
where Triple H
That's
actually
Lou, dog.
and Triple H like had sex with that fiance.
Oh my god.
Katie Vick, look it
Like
up.
how Billy knows all the lore.
Billy knows everything, man. He's our encyclopedia
He's
of
the guy.
wrestling.
I'm kind of. I'm not. I'll give myself a 6 out of 10. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna go that high. 7 for knowledge. I know quite a bit, but
Billy,
there's still a lot
You know,
of like
more than
home-
any of us.
That's true.
Billy, do you own any action figures for wrestlers?
I mean, does Pop Toys count? Because that's the only thing I have.
Oh.
I wouldn't buy action figures.
Did they make New Japan? Actually, I mean, of course they must.
I mean, they're starting to. I believe Funko Pop just partnered up with.
oh, Funko.
Yeah, they partnered up.
I want
with,
real action figures. I want like
Oh.
arms and shit. I could
I'm
move.
not sure. I'm not a big fan into the
Yeah.
the
I want like
memorabilia.
100 points of articulation.
Yeah,
dog.
exactly.
I want all of that shit.
No, Mattel doesn't do that for New Japan, unfortunately. But I don't know, man.
That's a good question, though, man. That's so
Jerry.
hard.
Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
Jerry. Well, you guys let us know in the comments what you guys
yeah,
think. What we
yeah.
would be.
Give
Like-
us what our wrestling gimmicks would be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a good one. This is a question from the Paper Flame.
Nice.
Favorite JRPG cast?
Oh, cast. Doesn't mean game, but cast. right?
Cast. Best set of characters, assuming playable characters.
Fucking Chrono Trigger, dog.
I was gonna say, dude, I love Frog and Robo.
Yeah, exactly.
Frog, Robo, Chrono. That was
Yeah,
my team.
Yeah, it's fucking. It's great.
And Magus is great.
There's some really great characters in
Yeah.
that game.
Just thinking about
Well, you searched all your podcasts.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Conjuring is
go
up
to
there
the
for
go
sure.
to Facebook.
I mean, you can
and
kind of
the-
cheat. Can't you cheat and say something like Kingdom Hearts? And you got like a lot of these Disney characters, and like
I
that's
guess
a pretty.
so.
Kingdom Hearts is a pretty amazing
But there's
cast
different-
of
But then
characters.
you could go ahead and say like Project Cross Zone,
Oh, yeah, that's
which
true, that's
has
true.
like 100 Capcom and Namco characters in it, dude.
Well, the thing is with Kingdom Hearts, I hated Sora.
but he's like the main character.
I know I hate him.
Yeah, I think for now I'm gonna go with Persona 4.
I was about to say you got to give a
Yeah.
shout out to Persona
Yeah,
4.
I think that's my for
I
me
haven't
because you
played
just
Persona 4.
I got to give
so-
shout outs to Final Fantasy 9. Final
Yeah.
Fantasy
Yep.
7 has a great cast too. Like,
Yeah,
so
Seven's
iconic.
great.
That 7 would not be the game it was if it wasn't for its cast.
Actually, that's true. The 7 side stories are really good. You actually felt like you cared about the side characters
Yeah.
as well, not just
7 and 9 have the best characters, I think.
yeah, I think Persona 4 for me by a long shot.
Yeah,
the
4 is
characters
great,
are
man.
just way
Persona
too
4.
lovable, and that you really like. It's hard not to fall in love with them when you put hours into the game. They all just kind of grow and I don't know, develop.
No,
For sure.
I mean, when I played Persona 5, like I like the characters, majority of them, but then there's a few that came in a little bit too late for me to actually care about. Haru, for one.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a little bit late.
Yeah, that happens in Persona 5. I hear. I didn't go through it yet.
Yeah,
and I
she
will
was a little
soon.
late.
But I hear there's some characters that came so late into the freaking mix that you don't even get to
No,
get close with
you can
them.
barely get to romance her anyway. So I don't want no rich girl, man.
Yeah. Damn, that's a really good question though. There's so many great ones.
There
man.
are.
There's
There's a lot of
so
great
many
ones.
good ones.
Because a lot of the times, like the game will live and die based on its characters.
It's
Because
true,
you're spending
yeah.
so much time with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like if you don't care about the characters, it's really hard to find a motivation to play.
I mean, that's what made 15 for me, right? Like
Yeah.
I hated the story. I didn't hate the story.
Yeah.
I thought there was too many
A lot of it's nonsensical.
yeah, and like why are they doing
The
this? Like,
the game
this
gets
whole-
by on the strength of its 4 main characters.
exactly.
right?
That's exactly.
And
what
if it didn't, and honestly, that game just needed a simple story, and
Hmm.
then those 4 awesome characters, and it would have been way better.
Yeah.
I mean, the DLC filled in the holes.
Yeah,
Like
but
a
the
lot of
base
the holes-
the base game should be
Yeah,
able to
yeah, exactly.
stand on its own, in my
Um,
opinion.
But yeah, man, that game was built on the characters. Other than that, the story is pretty ass.
It's true.
The 4 main characters. That's it. Like, oh, shit.
hmm
Ignis is the best, man.
Luke, Chrono Trigger's yours, dog.
Yeah. That's a
Honorable
good one,
mentions. Probably the ones we said already.
yeah. I like the FF8 cast just because that was like, the first Final Fantasy game I played.
You boy
Yeah.
Squall.
Yeah, Squall.
I want to give a shout out to
Wow.
some of the Shining games too, like Shining Force. I remember Shining the Holy Ark. You got to know some of the characters over time. There's been so many good RPGs.
I know
It's
there's so many
crazy.
great, so many,
Yeah,
a lot,
it's really
so many
hard to
Square
know.
ones too.
Yeah.
Everything we've named so far is Square.
Yeah.
Square
The
Enix.
Tales of Symphonia cast.
Ooh, yeah,
Mm.
dude. Yeah.
Mm, That's right.
A lot of Tales games, like the cast is pretty good.
Thank you so much for the question.
Retel's favorite is Final Fantasy 13.
13. Oh, my boy Snow, dude. The coolest fucking character, dude.
What are we talking about? Hope is your boy,
Hope.
man.
Oh, my boy Hope, dude.
Snow.
Just
said Facebook.
go to go to Facebook. I posted it on our Facebook group.
Our Facebook group.
We have a Facebook group?
My goodness, you know the one that we
Yes, yes, yes.
organize all of these
Moving up
fucking
in the world.
podcasts.
Where you're like, hey, bitches.
Yeah, hey, you fox. Here's a question from your boy Retel's Nose, aka MK Toasty wins.
Oh, is that actually him?
Yes. There's a question for Behr.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Any advice on being a
Brad.
fighting game commentator? I've been doing commentary for DB fighters, FZ at my locals, and I'm looking to improve.
Oh, good shit, MK Toasty. That's awesome, man. Dude, just I'll go to every local first of all and commentate at every local, and then you have to have a post-mortem. Do it like a few days after. Don't do it straight after and you get home. Like maybe like midway through the week, because locals a lot of times. Sometimes they're on the weekend. Sometimes they're like on a Wednesday. So let's say like every Saturday. Go back, listen to your commentary. Check on what you have to work on. Check on your dynamic with your partner. If the dynamic was bad, why was it bad? What can you fix? Maybe you were talking over him. Maybe he was talking over you. And, you know, maybe the styles that are mash
Yeah.
or whatnot. Usually you can make any pairing work. It's just really kind of hard to get the grounds unless you've commentated with someone before. And just at the end of the day, also just don't try and imitate other commentators. Don't try and be a Yipes, you know. Don't try
Right,
and be a
do
Mike
your own
Ross.
thing, be you.
You know,
Yeah.
people will come there for you and for your. You know, if you make jokes, don't try and copy other people's style.
Don't force it.
Yeah.
And don't force it. Yeah. Don't try hard to
So,
be funny. Just,
exactly,
Just be
yeah.
be natural.
And have a good mix of, you know, comedy and actually talking about the game too. You know, totally. With something like Dragon Ball, there's so much to talk about too. But that's probably the main thing. You know, you already know the knowledge of the games. That just comes within time as the, you know, keep updated with all the tech for sure. is one very important thing that a lot of people forget. Like, one of the main reasons I still even have Twitter is just to like keep updated with a lot of the Dragon Ball tech, because
Right.
Twitter is now the new home for a lot of the techniques and a lot of things people are recognizing right away. So it's really good to know little things, just so you can mention them in commentary or talk about them and just, you know, kind of fill in time that way. And it's really interesting for the listener, so that they don't have to be as analytical as you, and they can just listen to your commentary and learn about all these things. So it just comes within time, man. It comes naturally. You know, the first time I commentated, I was absolute garbage. But it's really a matter of listening to yourself too. That's so big. And yeah, that's about all.
Bouncing off that question, we got another question. Thanks for the question, Toasty, first
Yeah.
of all. And the next question is from another one of our mods, Hero/Crow. Who is your favorite FGC commentator?
Ooh.
I personally really like Eris, aka Avoiding the Puddle, because he's knowledgeable with Tekken, but also brutal and just talks trash left and right.
I was gonna say Ars too. Actually, I enjoy him a lot.
Eris is great. My favorite commentator, like what I love listening to Behr commentate, just because I know him. And honestly, once you know him,
but
it
also Behr's
becomes
really good,
it
too.
becomes more entertaining. There's
No,
Yeah.
Bear, you're actually very smooth. Like I watch a lot of sports,
yeah.
and I always try to find like the best sports commentators and
Thanks,
stuff.
Doug.
Just
I
like
try and copy baseball more than anything.
no, do you know what? Baseball
Yeah.
is actually the
Yeah.
sport that I was looking
If
at.
I were to, yeah, or
If
I
you-
like UFC commentary, like to look up to how they are sometimes. Not so much Dominic
But
Cruz.
the reason why
like
the reason why
Joe
I
Rogan.
compare you to baseball comment, I watch a lot of baseball.
yeah,
It's because it could be dry if you don't know what's happening.
yeah,
And Bear just throws out like random stats sometimes or like just
Yeah.
random tips, and I'm like, damn, like,
yeah.
and he's so smooth with it. He doesn't have to think. He
Thanks,
can work
Lexi.
off. He can work off like a really bad part, even though sometimes it's like, ooh, but
Yeah.
then like you can see, you know, like Bear's just natural with it. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks, Doug.
For me, when it comes to like my favorite commentator or whatever, it's just, big part of it is what game is playing. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
for sure.
Because like if it's Marvel, I want to see Yipes. You know, I want to hear
yeah,
Yipes.
yeah, Yipes is amazing.
Like
Yeah, don't worry about me. You guys don't need to pick me.
no,
But-
fuck that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't watch.
Boy.
any
And then,
fighting
but I
games,
also
that's why.
like I think back when Mike Ross was doing commentary, he's just entertaining.
yeah.
I also and I think like current commentators, I think Sajam's great.
yeah, yeah.
Just a very he's very
Jam's cool.
he's just really solid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Consistent. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a fan of Miguel Ross, man. Michael Ross for me, number one.
Yeah.
I think he kind of understands what brings the fun, even though, you know, him and Gutex didn't, like, they've tried to really push that a little bit more of the WWE style commentary.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
with a mix of obviously knowledge here and there.
That's
but
exactly
it
what
just-
WWE is, man.
Yeah, exactly. But that obviously didn't take over. So I think Mike for me was kind of like, this is how I would want to commentate. Like, I definitely want to talk about the game a lot, but you got to just have the excitement. At the end of the day, we're playing a fucking video game.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
we got to show and express our joy of this video game
Entertainment.
through our commentary.
Entertainment.
Yeah, cannot take ourselves too seriously. And that's, I think, a big problem that some people have, I think,
True.
when they start commentary, too.
Yeah.
So...
You gotta have
More
fun, man.
more good advice for MK Toasty winners.
Dude, that's awesome, man. MK Toasty's hilarious.
Thank you so much for the question, Hero/Crow. Another, he also said, well, who's your favorite player as well?
Ooh, fuck. You know, even after what happened recently of that match, you know, you can't go wrong with Daigo saying that, yeah, the Daigo Tokido match was insane.
Daigo's so fun to
I
root
have a
for,
lot.
dude.
You know, I'm very well known to being a big Nemo fanboy as well.
Yeah. He's a
but
solid dude.
those are my favorite players from Japan. It was like Daigo and Nemo, like number one. And from the States, I really like a lot of the oddball picks too. Like I love, like, just because their personalities. Like I love Dominion. I think Dominion is just such a great and like mature guy. And he's just like, I love his play too. Like he's just very smart with the way he approaches his games. And who else is really cool, man? Like there's a lot of amazing players. A lot of people who are just lovable for their personality, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would, like, Daigo's got to be one of my favorites just because he, you know, everyone's always rooting for him. And, you know, he doesn't always win, but when he does, it's always hype.
That's always hype.
You know what I mean?
It's just how good he is in first to tens too.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. To
And
me,
then-
that expresses more fighting game knowledge.
Yeah.
The fact that you can beat a certain player in a long set, and now he's had the track record. He beat, you know, Xian 10-0 right after he won Evo.
10-0, wow.
This is right after Xian won Evo,
Yeah.
right? Like very shortly after. I think it was at PAX West at an after party of some sort. Then he beat like Infiltration. Was it 10-2? I want to say, or like it was a pretty bad gap. And now Tokido, who was our last Evo champion,
Yeah.
beat him 10-5 in a long set. It's
Yeah.
just
Made
fucking
him cry,
crazy. Well,
Whoa,
you know, yo,
Dynasty-
I respect the crying though. Like he put so much passion
Sure.
into the game. You
Yeah.
know, I know. It seems to us looking into it, it seems so stupid because like, oh, it's just a video game. Why is this guy
No,
crying? He
it's-
looks
it's
like a baby.
passion, man.
But when you put 120% into a passion like that,
Not
and
possible,
and it
100%
just
fact.
means so much. That just showed how much the game means to him.
It's his life, dude. It's his full-time job.
It's his full-time
You
job,
know,
and
it's-
he wants nothing more to be the
Exactly.
fucking best,
And
right?
like I respect Tokido so much because he's been around the scene for so fucking long,
long,
too.
yeah.
So he was going to be one of the ones I was going to mention.
Yeah.
And just like so many different games.
It's so good.
So he's
Yeah,
just,
if
like,
I had to
amazing.
pick, like if someone said, Bear, who's the best fighting game player across all games? Like if you put everything combined into, you know, one ranking,
Yeah.
Tokido is number one.
For sure.
He's been way too consistent at every fucking, losing my voice.
Damn.
Turn to David Hayter there real quick. But he's been very consistent, and like I remember I think he joined like Blaze Blue tournaments before too, and he used to win them all the time.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Anything that guy touches, he's amazing at. That's why I respect Tokido so much. Like if I can play half as well as he does with Akuma, I'd be so
Yeah.
happy. Like holy shit.
For sure. Thank you so much for the question, Hero/Crow. And before we get to more community questions, which might need to happen next episode, we're gonna go into some bucket barns. We're gonna mix
Burns.
shit up.
Damn, what was that?
Who wants to go first?
Just pick it, man.
Okay, Barry wants to go first.
I got fuck this shit.
Pick a good one, man. None of this shit.
You're the one who wrote all these ones, man.
Oh wow! What is an item you possess that has the most sentimental value?
Ooh, that's a good one. Whoever wrote that. Shit. Bear, is it your wooden arcade stick, dog?
No, I actually have one. And you guys saw me get it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Is it your Kojima poster?
Yeah,
thing?
my
Yes.
Kojima poster is probably number one for sure. That was a really special moment for me. That like, there's nobody in the world that I wanted to meet more
Yeah.
than that guy. Like, I wish I could just sit down and have a more conversation with them, but
I know,
I
dude.
got
Like,
to sh-
fuck. I think it was the same PAX or maybe the year after I went, and Kamiya was there. Who, of course, like I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. He directed Resident Evil 2, and so I didn't have a copy of Resident Evil 2 for him to sign or anything. So I just had to get Wonderful 101,
yeah,
which I
yeah.
got him to sign, which is
That's right.
still cool. And he directed that game too. But it's just like fuck. If I could have gotten a signed Resident Evil,
What was his
2,
name again?
Hideki Kamiya.
Oh, yeah, Hideki Kamiya. Yeah. He's all very outspoken on
He
Twitter
is.
and
He's
stuff.
very.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
very.
He's like created DMC and everything. Yeah.
He's
He's a great
major.
developer.
He's got major legacy, dude.
At New York Comic Con, I got to meet was it Itagaki, the guy creator of Castlevania. It was so I have a signed poster from him too.
Oh, sick.
But I'm just not as big of a Castlevania fan. But I've always loved the series, for sure. That was cool.
But
But that's one item. Yeah, the Kojima for me. It's hard to just put so much value into an item. in
I
your
know,
life.
right?
But sometimes it's just something someone gives you. Or,
yeah, that's
you know,
the thing.
like for Billy, it could be his car. You know, like that's an item that could be very special to some people.
Mine's a original version of Final Fantasy VII, not the greatest hits one.
Oh.
Yeah. it's
Is that the original one you played when you were first a kid?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, that's special.
Yeah.
That's very special
It's,
for sure.
it's like I said, it's not greatest hits or anything.
Yeah.
It's the original, like no green label, whatever. It's just
Yeah, the black
the
labels.
the
yeah.
black label,
Yeah.
and the discs were black and shit back in the day
Yeah,
too. So
that's amazing.
that was my favorite. Like that's my
That's
favorite.
super cool, man. Because that's how it is for me too when it comes to like game collecting and game owning. Oh, bless you, Billy Dog. It's all good, baby. I don't care whether it's like a mint condition or it's sealed or any of that stuff. Sometimes it's really special to me because it was like the first copy that I played when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it's really nice owning that copy that you grew up with and that you experienced for the first time. I think that's how it is for me. So even if it's like damaged somewhere, I don't give a fuck. It's like it has history.
Lou, man, what's yours, dog?
Can't think of one right now. To be honest, maybe my guitar actually.
Is it the one that's here at my house?
Like it's both my guitars. my acoustic
I
and my
have
electric
both
one.
your fucking guitars are here.
Is this
Aw,
the guitar
man.
you've had like since you growing up?
My very first
Mm.
guitar
Oh,
that I
that's-
got when I was like 13.
That's a really cool. Yeah, that's a cool choice.
Even though I haven't touched it in years, but it's like when I think about it, it's very special.
A lot
That's
of
amazing.
memories.
Yeah,
That's
a lot of
super
memories. Yeah, it's busted too. Like,
Can't imagine,
shit.
yeah. Because I remember when I
is
first
it the red one?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
when I first came to high school, I remember just seeing you guys perform and shit.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, like in the
Me
big
and Lou
bash
used to jam
parties.
shit out. Eh?
Yeah. So it was like that's insane that you still have your very first guitar. That must be
Typhoon
pretty special.
24/7.
Typhoon 24/7.
So good.
Billy, man, what's yours, dude?
I already said it.
Yeah.
What?
You didn't listen to him this whole
Fantasy
time.
VII
Oh fuck, I wasn't thinking. I
No,
wasn't listening,
shit.
dude.
Retel was fucking zoned out.
I was zoned out because I was thinking about what mine was, dude.
Yeah, did you pick
And-
yours?
Yeah, you guys want to see it?
Oh god, is it the Retitus wig?
The costume, the whole costume.
What? The first used condom?
Oh damn, Retel's first condom. Oh fuck, he pulls it out.
Crusty, dry.
Oh shit.
The
Game Boy.
Is that yours?
This is
the original case, dog.
my original. It actually belonged to my sister, but I kind of
Oh.
commandeered it from her when I was like 3 years old.
Yo, that
And
shit ain't even gray anymore, dog. It's so
It's
used.
dude,
yellow
this is
mat.
the one that I used to play when I was like fucking 3 years
Let me
old.
touch that shit, dog.
Nah, man.
Three.
That is yeah,
Shit, dog.
because my sister had one back in like
I
1990,
guess, yeah.
That's
it's true.
insane. That's amazing.
and
Look, it's got some duct tape to hold it. The
Yeah,
battery
yeah, I don't
back,
have
so-
the-
Still got my Game Boy Color, man.
and that is I must have sunk so much time into that. When original
That's
Pokemon
amazing.
came out, that's what I fucking played on, dude.
Yeah.
I had a
That's
green.
awesome.
I had a green one. Like this.
And I don't know, it probably still works. Knowing Nintendo.
If you had a green one, you probably had a color.
Hmm?
You probably had a Game Boy
no,
Color.
it was like it was a green like this.
Oh,
like
for
black
real? The
buttons,
big one?
and it was green, like the green big one.
Oh, they made
and
that.
then my brother got a Game Boy Color, but it was like the see-through purple one.
oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That's like a really common one.
I
But I had like
remember.
a green one like this.
I got an ice blue Game Boy Pocket. I was like, I was a little
Ooh.
late.
Game Boy
for that.
Pocket.
Mm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's definitely this is probably
That's amazing. Yeah,
I
it's
played-
crazy how
What's
much
that
like.
game you got there?
this is Yu-Gi-Oh, dog.
Oh shit, dog. That's awesome,
It doesn't
man.
even this doesn't even work in that Game Boy.
Oh really?
Oh.
Yeah, because anything on this type of cartridge only works in colors.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, actually,
Super
I don't think I have any original Game Boy games
yeah.
to actually play on it. But you know, I have it for sentimental value.
Oh, yeah. Of course, of course.
That's awesome. That's really really cool. It's crazy, yeah, how items just can have so much memories attached to them.
Mhm.
You know, like even just seeing like a toy that you grew up with. You know, I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
just remember I have this one like Optimus Primal, like the crazy one that you can like transform into like 3 different things. But I remember I just saw it recently in my like parents' place's
Oh, so
garage.
They kept it all. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I was like, oh man, that's amazing. Like,
Have a rat
I would
trap.
love to like go. I might actually like take that thing because I don't collect figures or anything. Do you have a rat trap? That's
I have
kind
a
of
rat
like
trap.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just the tail,
It's
right?
so
You flip
sick,
the tail
dude.
out.
Because I remember like when the Transformers action figures were like such a huge thing. They probably still are. They're probably still making them.
Not
maybe,
the
maybe
yeah.
not as big.
They're not as nice.
our
Like,
generation was Beast Wars.
Beast
though.
Wars,
Yeah.
Beast
exactly. I had
was
all the
dope,
Beast
man.
Wars.
A
I
lot
had,
of the-
yeah, I had
so
Optimus
many.
Primal too, and the one you saw, and then I had
I had
the
Rat Trap as well,
Megatron,
dude.
The
dude.
dragon
Ooh.
one.
No, just like the T-Rex one, but like
Oh,
because
okay.
you could like fill his head with like water, and you, like it would spray water.
yo.
man.
So sick.
Yeah, like you fucking flush it, it like spray water and shit.
You know what's funny? A lot of Transformers purists they don't like Beast
What,
Wars.
Beast
Beast
Wars?
Wars was dope.
Yeah, it's so
It's
dope.
not-
And
it's
I
not
really,
canon,
I
dog.
really think it's because they didn't give it a full try.
Mhm.
You know, I think they might have watched like 1 or 2 episodes.
show was
but the
so
show
good, dude.
it gets really serious.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
obviously going into Beast Machines, which wasn't as good, but it
Yeah.
still had a lot of, you know, good
Mhm.
things
Had
about
good
it.
moments.
But
Who's your favorite Bear?
I'm a Cheetor fan.
I was just about to say
Yeah,
Cheetor.
yeah.
Cheetor. Then there's Rat Trap just because he's classic.
Dinobot, dog, come on.
That's
Yeah,
true.
Oh,
that
Dinobot was
Dinobot.
so fucking.
Yeah, if I were to
sick,
watch it today, I'd
because he was
probably
like Dinobot was
Like
bad
anti-hero,
guy, then he
man,
went
yeah.
good guy, right?
good
Or
guy.
kind of
Yeah.
anti.
And he was the most kind of developed character.
He's the Kesuke of
yeah,
it.
that nice development.
yeah,
Your boy
that's true. That's true. He was more evil than Kesuke, though.
I liked
too.
Scorponok as a kid though, because he was dope. He had the
Scorponok,
fucking
yeah.
shoot missiles out of his
Yeah.
claws and shit. But then they
Yeah.
killed him off.
Not Wasbinator, dog.
Wasbinator.
Wasbinator?
He made it to the end, dog.
He
Yeah,
did.
Wasbinator was a beast.
He took. over the
Who
end.
was
He got fucked up every episode.
I know,
dude.
that's why
I
he's
remember Borsru, like he was a really cool character. Was it
Right on.
was it Jetstorm?
Tigertron.
Tigertron. Yeah, yeah. Then and then he
Tigertron, yeah.
turns. Doesn't he turn in Beast Machines? He takes over the body of Jetstorm or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
happens. I'm pretty sure.
Damn.
Yeah, that was that. He was an amazing character.
was a great
I
character,
loved
yeah.
him. I loved him so
Tigertron
much.
was like when he first came,
He's like
everyone was
the
like, "Oh, fuck."
romancer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He was in love with
Black Rack.
Black Iraq.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
man.
my god, dude.
So cool. So cool. I love that dude.
was the other show? Was the other show called the?
Beast Machines?
Was it Beast Machine? Is that what it's called?
The
Yeah,
second,
when-
yeah. Beast Machines.
That's what it's called?
I didn't
Yeah.
like it that much.
I am transformed.
Oh yeah, yeah. I am transformed.
That stupid.
And
bat
like
kid.
you know, they had these weird effects to transform them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whenever the toys were such shit, because the toys never made sense.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, for Beast Wars, and I think most Transformers, like the way they transform, because they make the toy first, and then I think later on they translate it into the show, so it all makes sense, and it all kind of the pieces come together properly.
It's all just the whole show's a whole marketing ploy
Yeah,
to
it is.
sell
It
toys,
is.
dude.
That's how they sell toys. I mean, Star Wars is kind of guilty of that shit too, right? But Beast Machines, because the way they transformed, it was like this glowing light flare and shit. The toys were just fucking atrocious. They were so bad. They were just like, like you'd have to like flip Optimus Prime's like tits to his like head, or to, and like his ass would be in like his shoulders. It was awful. Never looked good.
I don't even remember the toys for that show.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember them
seeing
At
either.
that point, it was kind of like, I think we were starting to get older, but I still was a kid enough to want to see what happened. And yeah, it was
Did it ever have a good resolution?
It did.
Okay.
It did.
It's not like, didn't you have
saw
the
the end
fucking
of
reboot treatment?
Yeah, they definitely.
Do you guys
they-
remember fucking reboot?
Yeah,
The
Reboot
ending?
was bad, but Beast Machines actually had a resolution. I'm not gonna spoil it, but it was happy.
I'm just gonna Google it when I get home.
The sad thing about Reboot, one of my favorite shows from my childhood, ended on a cliffhanger, dude.
Yeah.
I
It
know.
never got resolved.
And now we got
And
the
now
new reboot
The
coming
mini
out.
reboot, and I think it's out like this month or next month, dude.
Oh, is it this was soon already?
And it looks bad.
Dude, it's a live action show.
There's a
Has-
live action.
I
It's half live action.
don't think
Really?
it has anything to do with the actual reboot. It's gonna maybe have some
Like,
small
they still have the
connections.
symbol. They have the reboot symbol and shit.
That's really sad.
Yeah, it's really
Super
a fall from
disappointing.
grace.
Yeah.
Like, the guy glitched.
And then it's like they're marketing it towards kids, which obviously they should. But it's like,
Yeah,
ain't no
Reboot
kid's
was
not gonna
dark,
remember
man.
that
No,
shit.
yeah.
None of the
Don't
kids
give
were
a fuck.
alive back when
Come
that show was out.
A
dude.
reboot, like actual reboot, or like
Yeah.
a sequel.
A sequel.
A
needs
sequel,
to be
yeah.
a
Well, that was
continue.
with a more mature tone, because actually reboot started to become pretty
Yeah, I was
mature,
gonna say,
Yeah, it
right?
was.
Like,
As
It
soon
did.
as,
Yeah.
soon as
Yeah.
Enzo got fucked up in that
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat
Dude, that was right at
episode,
the
like,
end of
Yeah.
season 1.
Yeah, and it just like it
I
started
remember
getting
being a
darker
kid and seeing
darker.
that. I was like, what?
And
Like,
they ended the fucking season like that, dude.
yeah.
Enzo loses,
Loses his
game
eye.
is like game over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
User wins.
Bob's gone and
and
shit.
fucking
Oh.
Matrix
it was
shows
just
up.
Dot,
You know?
and then he becomes.
It was definitely maturing with the audience, and I wish they
Yeah.
matured it even more. Like, I'm not saying have like blood and violence, but just make it have some dark themes to it, right? Like,
But honestly, they should have just kept it par for the course because it was great as it was.
Yeah, it's
They
so
just
cool.
should have ended it properly.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was working on a super secret project for work, and we were in one of the Vancouver studios here where they recorded all the voices for Beast Reboot. It was really cool to see just all
That's
the
awesome.
sound studios, and just they had the posters of all the shows that they did, and I was like, man, this is things come full circle when you
Circle,
live
man.
circle, yeah.
Full circle.
Turn an Asian on you, Billy. But things come full circle when you live in a city for so long. It's so cool. Yeah, and we got to meet a lot of the voice actors too.
Yeah,
I got to
yeah.
like meet the voice actor
Didn't
for
he
Optimus Primal.
record your fucking voicemail? Or
He
who was
did.
that? Yeah.
He did. I don't know if I still have it. I might be,
I
but
miss it, man.
What's his
Yeah.
name again? Oh,
Gary Chalk.
okay.
Gary Chalk. So he did Optimus Prime, Optimus
right.
Primal, and he also did who are the two robots in Reboot?
Oh, Hack and Slash.
Hack
dude.
and Slash. Yeah, he did
He
one
did
of
Hack
them.
and Slash? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
he did one of them. So he was super cool. Yeah, I got him to do that. And then we also Scott McNeil. I'm sure you've also
Right, yeah.
met him too.
I've met him. I think was there a time where he was drinking with us?
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the coolest thing ever.
That
And we
was
were
awesome.
asking him to do voices, and he was like, I'm sure we were
Such a
annoying the
chill
fuck at
dude.
him, but he was so
He was
chill and
really
cool.
chill about
Ask
it.
him to do Rat Trap, ask him to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
Dinobot, ask him to do. I mean, he's done so many voices.
And was this
too.
just over at? Was this at the Pit Pub?
This was at the Pit
Oh
Pub at
my
UBC.
God.
Yeah. He sometimes just shows
I
up to the
remember this
conventions.
shit.
He's not even on the guest list.
He's because he's from Vancouver.
Yeah, but he's from Vancouver, and that's so cool of him to do that. And
Yeah.
everyone loves him when he's there.
He's,
so.
he's a super nice
I
dude.
think he did Majin Buu for like the Ocean Dub. Oh no, actually Ocean Dub didn't go that far. I thought he did one of those weird like high pitched voices too. I don't know, but
Scott
he did.
Jr.?
He did so many. If you look at Scott McNeil's like IMDb page, you guys will be like, "Holy
Yeah,
fuck,
yeah.
this guy was like everything."
Everything.
Yeah, so
It's awesome.
really cool.
And with that, we're going to end this episode of the Top Tier Podcast. This has been episode 87. Right?
Sounds about
87.
right.
Again, big shout outs to our patrons
Yeah,
over
shouts.
at patreon.com/top tier podcast.
How close are we to getting that new camera, Retel?
We're almost halfway.
Almost halfway.
We're maybe 1/3, but that's okay.
That's okay.
Take your time. Man.
And guys, if you want to send in questions to the podcast, join our community Discord. It's actually there's a lot of conversations going on in there, and have a direct line to me, Behr is not in it, but
I
Billy's
will
there.
be in. I'll be in. I'm
I'm
sorry.
on there
Lou's
now.
on there now.
I'm not meaning to be very Hollywood.
So you can-
I really don't use Discord
it's
at
all
all.
good.
I mean, just
but
slide into my
will.
DMs.
You can slide in on the DM, slap into the DMs.
Slap my DMs.
Slap in the
dog.
DMs.
Anyways, thank you, Billy. Thanks, Behr. Thanks, Lou. Thanks to you guys. Peace out.